With pretty much a week away until Season 6, I figure it's a good time to do my final review of Season 5 for Cold War Zombies. And boy, time sure does fly fast. So anyway, let's actually get to, well, I'll go over the good stuff, also a bit of the bad stuff, and the stuff that I want to see improve in Season 6. So let's start with the good stuff, the goodies, the big content. Well, mostly what we got. First of all is the 5 weapons. Of course, they had 4 of them at the day 1 of Season 5. They had 1 later from next week, and they add your final weapon in the event. And of course you get them from the battle pass, the 2 weapons you get from the battle pass, and the 3 you get by doing their challenges. The first weapon you get from the battle pass in tier 15 is the EM2 assault rifle, and tier 31 you get the Tec9. Now you can actually earn these weapons for free just by simply playing the game and reaching their tiers respectively. You don't need to own the battle pass, you just have to acquire, you have to reach the tiers. So the first one, the EM2, has the slowest rate of fire in the assault rifle class, but comes with a built-in optic. They don't tell you the magnification, but it says the built-in low zoom optics. And the next weapon they add in the battle pass is the Tec9. It's the first of its kind to be in semi-auto, and you can actually convert it to fire in different modes. Let me just get to it. Let me just do this for example. Now, it has 2 unique attachments for the Tec9, and both of these replace the suppressors. So the suppressor get replaced by the burst fire repeater, and the agency suppressor got replaced by the full auto repeater. So as their name implies, you basically convert the weapon to fire in a weapon's fire type to fire how many rounds. With the burst fire repeater, you're able to fire it in a 3-round burst, which does increase its rate of fire and horizontal recoil, or make it better recoil control, but you lose range. With the full auto repeater, you do increase your rate of fire even more and convert the weapon to fire in full auto, just like every other SMG with the exception of the KSP-45. Now you do lose damage, range, and a bit of horizontal recoil control. But honestly, it doesn't really bug me as much. It's still reliable, still kick gas. Now as for the other additional weapons they add is, well, the first one you get for the our third weapon we get in Season 5 was from a weapon challenge, and it's a melee weapon, and it's the Kane. Honestly, it's just a reskin of the baseball bat and the mace. Nothing's really special or stand out with it, other than you probably feel satisfying smacking a zombie's face with your grandpa's stick. But of course, the 4th weapon they added in a very quick update are the Marshals. Or of course, in the in-game name, or their real-life name, is called the TP-82, which is actually classified as a pistol rather than a shotgun, which is kind of weird. It says a break action pistol, but it looks more of a shotgun, like a sawed-off shotgun, which is a little bit weird. But the weapon does have a uniqueness to it as well. Of course, since it's a part of the pistol class, you can be able to dual wield them, and you can also have Dragon's Breath on them. And sadly, you don't even get Dragon's Breath for the other shotguns, which is a damn shame because I would love to see it how it would work on the other shotguns. So they're flowable or unique, a lot more interesting. Also, another thing with the Dragon's Breath rounds, they're not really a dot damage ammunition. It's not like the Dragon's Breath rounds in Payday 2, where if you shoot an enemy, it leaves them on fire and it does like burn damage, like damage over time. The Cold War's Dragon's Breath, they are more of this increasing more damage and not really leave a burn effect, which honestly destroys the purpose of Dragon's Breath. And hell, even Troy already mastered the Dragon's Breath rounds before in BO 1 and 2 with the Olympia. When you Packer Punch it, it's called the Hades, and it shoots Dragon Breath round. And it does burn the zombies. I don't know why they didn't do it with this one. I just find it weird. But however, out of all the weapons they add, this one is by far my favorite and honestly makes it more unique. And these are the size, or in better case, the size, because you get 2 of them. And you get these by completing the numbers event. So normally every melee weapon we have after the E tool, they all basically are just hot garbage. None of them really stand out, and honestly the E tool, or heck, even the Wakizashi, is still a much better melee weapon than all others. But I think a lot of people still personally prefer the E tool, just because of how good it is. But the size is a great alternative to the E tool. What size lacks in power makes up for its speed and mobility. You can be able to swing and strike even faster than the E tool. You even move and sprint even faster and quicker with the side than any other melee weapon. You also jump further with them too, so you can able to bunny hop quite a lot if you don't have stamina. And the cool thing about these, you can also perform a slide jump technique that you'd use in BO3 and 4. Normally you can't do it in Cold War because you can only do like one time and that's it. That is not on a angled slope. But here, you can actually get quite a lot of time with it. You probably can get a couple more out of it. You probably can get out of maybe 4 or even more at best. It really depends on the map structures you have. But yeah, it's amazing. One of my personal favorites. You can probably tell by how many kills I got with this melee weapon compared to the others. Now of course the E2 is up there because it's still my favorite. And the combat knife is a lot because, well, it's the only melee weapon they had until they add the weapon challenges in Zombies in Season 3. Alright, now let's look over to the Battle Pass. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on it. So, of course, the Spotlight operator we have for Season 5, it's Kitsune. Of course, he's a Japanese hacker for the Warsaw Pact. Now, of course, this theme going on is pretty much about hacking and Japanese culture, pretty much. And that's what I'm getting at with this. The hacking vibe makes sense because of the Cold War, but the whole Japanese culture at most stuff, I mean, some of them may look like Chinese stuff or even Koreans. So it feels a little bit weird to see the Japanese culture because I don't know how much of like Japan impact much of the Cold War. I mean, I know the Chinese did a lot, but I don't know about Japan. So they also add additional other blueprints to other weapons that were either by weapon challenges or by through battle pass, like the like the Striker and the Groza. So I'm not gonna go over all of the blueprints here. I mean, there's only one that actually stands out, and it's actually my preferred favorite. I'm not talking about this one. Of course, that's a reactive blueprint, which is probably the best looking blueprint I've ever seen. And of course, by reaching tier 100, you get Kitsune, and honestly, she looks beautiful as a samurai. I mean, she has great hair. I love the color too with the red. I love the background, but that doesn't matter. And of course, we get the album when you complete it. This is the second best Battle Pass season album, only behind the season 3 one. So, to me, I think the very first blueprint you get, the Great Emperor, is probably by far the best blueprint in this Battle Pass. Nothing else comes close to it that is not a reactive camo. It just looks so good. Plus, I love the iron sight with that dragon up there. Looks so good. And now it's time to add stuff into zombies. First of all, I'm going to go over the stuff in Outbreak. There's a lot of stuff they added in Outbreak, so I'll get right into the bad. One of the things they add is, of course, the 2 new regions, being Collateral and the Amarta, being Amarta as their final region. Which, so sadly, we won't get another one in Season 6, because they're now going to be mainly focused on the next round-based map, and the final round-based map for Cold War being Forsaken. That's going to be the name of the map. They also added a exclusive equipment to Outbreak called the Grapple Gun, which is the same one you used in BO4 in multiplayer and Blackout. And I'd say it's pretty fun to use. You can able to get through buildings and other areas that normally you couldn't reach with normally, or had to use a jump pad to get to it, but it does cost money to get to it. And then we also have a new vehicle, being a tank, which I'm pretty surprised they add. Mainly just because, well, I thought this would kind of be a little bit OP, but it's really kind of also annoying if you get hit by a Tempest EMP blast, because it disables your vehicle quite a long time, like other vehicles. Honestly, that should change. That you can it's only temporarily, like for a second, and then it can still work again. After all, tanks are not really an escape vehicle to escape with. They're really meant to take a lot of punishment and deliver a lot of punches. Other stuff they include in Outbreak is the Omega helicopter, where you can able to destroy it. If you destroy the helicopter, it will drop its Omega supply drop that contains a lot more better salvage of the orange and pink, which gives you a lot more. And you also get 2 support weapons with it as well. So if you're able to get that, collect a lot of it, you'll be stocked on for life with a lot of upgrades and pretty much a lot of stuff you can use for. We also have one new main objective, being the transport, where your objective is to bring the cargo truck with the 2 harvester canisters and deliver them to the vortex. You had to deliver 2 of them and fill them up, defend the cargo truck, and bring it to the rocket and fill them up just like you do in Retrieve. Nothing really special, but it does make you drive around the map, so it's really nice. Now they add a world event, a new world event called the Black Chest. And what you do in this one, a lost soul is trapped inside a black chest. once you interact with it, you need to destroy the 3 locks, pretty much these ethereal orb seals. That's preventing it from, opening it. Now, of course, if you shoot it or you get close to it, it will come after you and it will summon zombies around you. So you have to be careful. They do spawn behind you. So just be careful with your surroundings. And once you destroy all 3 of the orbs, you open the chest, you get your content, you get the lost soul has not been free, and he's, of course, thank you for releasing him, and he will be in your debt, where he will come and aid you if you're low on health. So that's nice. You also get a chalice and a armor. You do get a level 2 or 3 armor, and you do get a bronze, silver, or gold chalice, and that depends on the higher round you are. So if you want to get the best results of the golden chalice, which gives you a free pack-a-punch, and the armor pretty much increase your armor level, you need to be at least on round 6 to get the black chest, and above that you're always going to get the same one, the gold chalice with the level 3 armor. You get the best one out there. Now, as for the additional other stuff they add, they also add a few new stuff. Of course, we do get one new field upgrade, being the Tesla Storm. Now, of course, a lightning will connect to other players, and of course it does stun and damage enemies. Now, of course, with more upgrades, you can actually do 2 specials and elite enemies, and the players also able to move faster, increase the duration, and double the damage to enemies with stun. So it's a really nice teamwork, aggressive tactic playstyle. It's almost kind of like a blitzkrieg style tactic. Although personally I won't use as much, as after all I still love my Ring of Fire, Frenzy Guard, and Toxic Growth, and even some degree of Ether Shroud. But personally I'm still probably going to main Ring of Fire. We also have a new perk in Season 5, which I already covered up in a separate video, which is Depth Perception. But to put a summary, it's pretty much a perk that returned in BO4. It helps you to highlight enemies through walls, but thanks to its upgrade, it gets even better. You can also see items through walls, you have more penetration against enemies with armor, you pick up way more loot, enemies give up an indicator when off screen, when approaching a player off screen, and the minimap update just makes it even better. So these are more of a big improvement and basically makes the experience a lot better, especially in Outbreak for the tier 5. And also one more thing they added in the round-based mode is now you have the Rampage Inducer that you will be finding in every spawn location in a round-based map. Now I already did a couple videos on this as well, only the 2 of them, which is allow you to basically speed up the pace of the round base, so the zombies will go even faster, and there's no breaks between waves at all. So once you finish off, complete that round, it will move on to the next one in matter quickly, like probably not even 1 second, and you already start the next round. So it's just like barrel rotation from Crank, where the higher you go, the zombies move a little more faster, more aggressive. So that's what the Rampage Inducer is, just about that stupid time limit, or that time ticking down for you to explode. Now they only have it up to round 20. After round 20, it will be disabled and you can't use it again, unless you restart and do it over again by starting at round 1. But Treyarch did reply that due to a lot of people loving this feature so much, which is very helpful because you can be able to level up your weapons faster and, you know, speed up the pace in zombies, and hell, even try to do challenges with it, like trying to complete main quests with very aggressive zombies on your ass, which I already did, and honestly, I have fun. So they probably, where they're gonna do it, they probably gonna do it maybe around 40 or 55, just before the round where zombies starting to actually speed up to their max potential at that round. A lot of people say it's like round 55, that's where zombies become very insanely aggressive. But we will see. We'll probably see it in Season 6. And of course they add 2 new stuff to Onslaught, which is, well, 2 new maps. They add Drive-In, which is a throwback map from BO1, and Initialon, a new original map. And we have, of course, our game mode for Onslaught called Diminishing Light, where the Ether Orb is slowly being diminished by unseen forces. Suffice or just to recharge its energy. Basically, you have to complete it, and it will bring it back to normal. It does shrink a little bit more. You can shoot the orb to slow down or stop its progress for a couple seconds. However, if the orb, if the circle gets close to the orb and then destroys it, it's automatically game over. It's really annoying to deal with, and honestly, you don't even last that long because you can't kill a lot of zombies in time. So that creates another problem, is that their orb power. I still don't like the fact that when you kill a zombie like around like the 5 surge or the 5th elite killed, you only get like 1 point to power up the orb from a zombie. It used to be free at max, but now it's just really dumb, and honestly it creates a boring experience on Onslaught. So I'm only going to go for the gold chalice, the blueprints, and the intel for it, and that's when I say GG Onslaught, there's no point in playing with you anymore, and until they actually fix this stupid orb power problem. But yeah, now as for the bad stuff, there's about 2 I see. The biggest one for me is actually, there's actually 2 big bugs that were occurred to Season 5. One of them has been fixed around 3 weeks since the start of it, which was, or I'm not sure when it's actually fixed, is the parachute bug. So in Outbreak, anytime you try to deploy a parachute, your camera will get either tilted or basically go upside down. So you're basically playing like with a broken spine on your character, which leaves of a major headache. But that was not the worst bug I ever witnessed. There's even much worse. So worse, in fact, it took them a month to fix it. And that was the blueprint bug. That if you try to apply your blueprint to the weapon that you picked up from the ground or from the wall or in a mystery box, you might end up a chance of duplicating that weapon. You lose the rarity of the weapon, and it fucks up your points when you're trying to apply Pack-a-Punch. I mean, you spend the money, but you don't get your upgrade because of the duplicate weapon. And this has been going on since Season 5, and they finally fix it in the numbers event in Season 5, which just came out like now a week ago pretty much. Which, it was a long ass time. If it took them a month to fix a very, very serious bug, I really have no hopes for Treyarch to get the game fully polish for Vanguard, because we're about pretty much a month away from it. And seeing how buggy the beta was, it's not going to be a pretty thing to have at launch. And another thing they add, of course, one of the highlights to Season 5 is, of course, the Outbreak Survival. I actually will talk it over a separate video to it later on. So for a summary, it's basically a hardcore version of Outbreak. Just a lot more toughness and a lot of restrictions too. So you start with an M1911. You don't have your blueprints. You can't apply your blueprints here. Of course, you don't have a map. You don't have your compass. You don't have the bars of the enemy health and the numbers you do much damage to. And in order to restore your health, you have to eat food. But that will be another video to explain even more with Survival Outbreak. And I guess I can show you mostly my statistics so far. So of course, well, in Season 5, there's actually less intel, with just 60, as opposed to a lot. I mean, I understand for Season 1 and 4 had the round-based map in it, so it did give you a lot more intel. But this is quite small. And of course, this is due because there's like half of Treyarch working on Vanguard zombies, while the other half of Treyarch is still providing content for Cold War. And, well, here's my progression of Season 5. Of course, got my 5 stars, and, of course, complete all my challenges. Some of them were easy. They're related to Mauer Totem Outbreak and other stuff they add, like the Mule Kick, Tesla Storm, Disciples, and that. Now, as for my, well, combat record, I guess I could. So I'm about like 150,000 kills away for 1,000,000. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna get it personally, the 1,000,000 kill calling card of zombie kills, because they say that Outbreak doesn't count, and I did play quite a lot of Outbreak, but I also play round-based mode. So I'm just gonna show off the weapons, and, well, nothing really much changed here, but of course I did try a lot with the other guns, especially now that I play with pubs. And play more round-based mode, I'm starting to enjoy a lot with more other guns. So it's just quite big, and of course melees are still the bottom of the list because they're just reskins and also don't use much of the shockwave and most wonder weapons. So of course, you can probably see my chart. I've been playing for 38 days now, and you can definitely see I've been playing a lot more zombies than ever with multiplayer, because multiplayer is shit. The only reason I would have like an hour instead of 8 hours is because the weapon challenges, since they weren't added in zombies at that time, I would have to go to multiplayer to earn them. I got it for the Striker, the Street Sweeper, and that sniper rifle. And ever since they added in zombies, I don't have to play the shitty multiplayer. There's no purpose for me anymore. Oh, I also forgot to mention they also added a new support weapon, being the flamethrower. And I have to say it's a nice addition. I say it's very better than the Death Machine. Where the Flamethrower excels at close quarters, I find the Death Machine excels at medium to long range. Also, another thing to add is they add Disciples from Mauer the Totem in Outbreak in Season 5, so it's nice that we have another enemy type in rotation, so it makes things a lot more interesting. But yeah, overall, Season 5 was pretty much a roller coaster ride for me. There are a few areas where I had so much fun with, but other areas I was kind of bored and I just want to get off the ride, especially with the annoying blueprint bug that's been going on happening for a month. So once I reach Prestige Master and reach Tier 100 of Battle Pass, that's when I stopped playing Cold War for a while and decided to play other games as well. Started playing, trying to stream, of course, the Uncharted series, as well played and streamed a bit of Green Hell. And most likely I'll probably do the exact same thing with Season 6. But yeah, as for the stuff I want to add or see in Season 6, which I know is we are going to have a round-based mode. Now I really hope we do get our final perk. The weapons, we all know what the weapons are. Now I do see there's like leaks and already shown in the trailer for Season 6, but you know, I will wait it out to get more info from Treyarch himself. And most importantly, just give more love to Outbreak. Even though it's not the main focus anymore, I still wish Outbreak still had a few more stuff added to it just before Treyarch shift their focus from Cold War to Vanguard. But we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have like some type of Halloween event in Season 6, and it will be a perfect time with zombies as well, so I can't wait what they're gonna have something cooking up. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Season 5. I hope you enjoyed listening to what I had to say. And overall, there are some areas that I do like. I like how they add at least 2 regions in a season as opposed to just 1. With the exception, of course, being Season 2. That's when they actually introduced Outbreak with 3 maps by the start. They add additional 1 in the mid-season. But then every after other, it was just 1 region per season. But now with Season 5, they actually give you 2. And it's really fun. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.